baby woman deputy editor, Sarah Huron, went and did an amazing job covering BravoCon. And I hope you like Bravo Celebrities because... Sarah, what did you think about it? What were your highlights going out? Watch all of her social content, by the way. It's prime.
I do have a highlight on my Instagram stories and my last couple posts. They're all BravoCon related. I don't know if I'll ever stop. It's my whole personality. It was a wild 3 days, kicking off with Bravoland Museum, which of course had, cutouts of Teresa and Louis' dress. They had the dress on display. They had the wedding hair recreated. They had the tiara.
You try it on the wedding hair?
You couldn't try it on officially. Yes, but you could go behind cardboard cutouts and stick your face and be Teresa and Louis. Fun. And of course, it was the first thing I did at 10 a.m. on Friday when BravoCon opened, not knowing that our lovely new Us Weekly social media editor would turn it into a TikTok that would end up on Teresa Giudice's Instagram page.
I mean, famous.
Famous. So then I talked to Teresa and Louis the next day, and of course, I'm sure she had no idea, but I was like, I'm the one on your Instagram, so you know. And Louis was like, it's amazing. He was loving it. So that was my big moment with Teresa and Louis. And honestly, there were so many highlights. Obviously, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills panel is getting a lot of attention, not only because 8,000 people rushed the stage, but also because Lisa Rinna was booed 3 times. After she was booed 3 times and flipped off the crowd, she came into the press room and she wasn't scheduled to be in the press room. So obviously, people were buzzing. It was electric. She walks in. I thought she was just going to do the main outlets, like the TV broadcast, and leave. But no, she started walking down the line. She gave everyone 3 questions to start. Then it became 2 questions. Then it became 1 question. And then when she got halfway to the carpet, when she was this close to me as Travis went, she went, no more questions for Lisa Rinna, and just walked out. She was trying to play it off like, it's so cool that I got booed. I've never had that happen to me. Right. And I kind of respect it because what's she going to do? But people were asking if she's going to be fired. The questions were savage.
Yeah.
And it was a lot.
Savage.
It was savage. So that was wild. I said to Travis earlier, her walking away from me was better than me getting to ask a question. It felt like I was living
and we got
in
to
the
ask
Real
her question.
Housewives. Yes, and Christina at the front of the carpet asked her. I was on the back end kind of catching things we didn't get, getting social content, and doing my roundups that I did. And my favorite roundup I did was asking housewives to admit a time they called Andy Cohen to complain. And of course, half of them were like, ask Andy. Anyone at Bravo will say, I never complain. And I was like, okay. So a bunch of them said that, which was hilarious. And then a bunch admitted. So when I posted the story, I tagged Andy and he responded that 80% of it was accurate. So I loved that 20% of the housewives lied to me and said that they don't complain. And that's what I wanted. That was the ultimate thing. So I was very excited about that.
That's beautiful. Your content was so fun.
Thank you. It was, and the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City panel was another highlight. They all hate each other. Those 4 women were screaming. It was reunion level. Whitney was, they were trying to show receipts, and Karamo was the moderator. And the moderators at BravoCon have very specific rules that they're told by the network. They have the questions that are pre-written for them. There's topics they're not supposed to talk about, but there's always an audience Q&A, and the audience is drunk and ready to stir the pot, and it is wild. And within the weekend, they're all asking questions about the other franchises. So then at the Watch What Happens Live, they have to play squash that beef about something they said an hour ago at a different panel. It's truly wild the way it works.
And why? So Jen Shah,
yes.
All the rumors surrounding her, they say that since she was convicted guilty, that Bravo's not letting her into BravoCon and thinking about getting her. And then Bravo was like, no, we love people who are guilty in a court of law, but if she's too guilty, we'll kick her off the show.
Basically. So Jen Shah was on the original list for BravoCon before she changed her plea in July. Then she changed her plea and she pleaded guilty, and she was taken off the list, and she wasn't at the panel, and they kind of weren't allowed to talk about her. She was the hush-hush subject. Then Tamra Judge went on Access Hollywood and was like, I saw Jen Shah last night. She's in New York. She tried to crash the Watch What Happens Live Legends Ball taping. She tried to steal my glam. So then it was kind of a little bit of fair game because Tamra was on the record, and then there was videos, blurry videos surfacing of Jen at a party. So everyone was like, all right, Jen Shah's in New York, but she never actually made it to official BravoCon event. Besides an after party that I believe she got kicked out of. And Andy was asked about it at a panel on Sunday, and that's when he made the comment of when she pleaded guilty, that was kind of the end of Jen Shah. So some people are like, okay, well, what about Teresa Giudice? What about Erika Jayne? Erika Jayne has not been officially charged with anything.
Teresa sure has.
Teresa defrauded the government. Jen Shah defrauded old people.
Yeah.
It's a little different. And Teresa never pretended she was innocent for 6 months and did a whole season of her show. Teresa took ownership. They went to jail, did their time. Also, there's no Jersey without Teresa, which we know.
And
I talked to Jen Shah.
But they also defrauded those real mortgage companies in New Jersey that were real people who owned them.
Fair. I talked to Teresa Giudice.
But they went to jail.
They went to jail. Which Jen Shah's going to go to jail too.
She's rehabilitated.
Fair. fair.
apparently.
It's different. And she really just signed those contracts. We know she wasn't the mastermind behind all
Right.
this money laundering.
If they had BravoCon now, I don't know if Teresa in the 2014 days would have been at a panel. I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. We didn't have it. But I did talk to Gia Giudice. She sang "Waking Up in the Morning" for me.
thinking about something
And she said, I asked every Bravo celebrity also a moment they want to relive because it was so fun and one they want to redo to do it better. And Gia's relive was her mom coming home from jail. And I thought that was so lovely.
Oh, wow, that is really
She was like, it was like
nice.
really just like powerful. And I was like, oh my God, she's so
Sweet.
mature and smart.
Yeah.
And
And beautiful. Those girls are
beautiful.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
really
Her
they have
boyfriend was
Disney
there. He was
princess
cute.
eyes.
And the last thing I'll say, just because we talked about it, also when we're talking about Jersey,
Yeah.
Jersey panel was very split. Teresa and Melissa and Joe cannot be in the same room
Yeah.
at all. They had them completely separated the whole weekend. They were the only cast that came out at the Watch Sevens Live on Friday night that had all 140 Bravo celebrities there, which was wild.
Right.
I did have 2 seconds on television during it, guys. If you missed it,
I saw
go
it.
back and watch.
She famous.
Yeah, and they came out at different doors and like sat separately. Every other cast sat together, even the ones that are like Lisa Rinna sat 2 seats away from Kathy Hilton.
What a
but
feud.
Jersey couldn't even come out together. Their panels were separate, and they only crossed paths at the hotel they were all staying at, in which Jennifer Aiden threw a drink at Melissa Gorga after she called her a loser, and now Bravo is very pissed at their cast of
No
Jersey.
shade, but all shade, but ain't that Jersey?
Yeah, so that's my like long-winded, like fast talk BravoCon recap. Check me out on Instagram if you want to know anything else.
Very good.
I like
good
it.
job.
I like it a
Thank
lot.
you.
For more news, content, and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below and visit usmagazine.com.